Okay, so welcome back to part 2 of Quantum of Solace / Bond Extended Edition. So before we get things started with the plot and we start to also look at our set pieces across the Bonds, let's have a quick check-in on the status of our needle. How's your needle, Carl?
Hey, it is firm. That's what it is. Firmly fixed in place.
Thought it was just the way you were sitting.
Yeah.
But that's fine. So I suspect that this might be the case. I've been quite positive about this so far. And I said I didn't like it.
I'll tell you what's interesting
Definite
about
quiverage.
this. What's interesting, because we pretty much both agreed on the shortcomings of this film.
Yeah.
And I think plot is where I can...
You think you can
I think I can really sell it.
really ram my needle home?
Yeah. I think I'm going to grab hold of your needle.
Jerk it.
Both hands. Maybe I'll take it in turns. It's on, is what I'm feeling.
I have to say, I'm enjoying the wider Bond conversation. Will inspire me to watch a few more Bond films in the near future as well, for sure.
Yeah, they're really fun, generally speaking.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole point of them, right?
Yeah.
You think about Bond films, you don't go like, oh, hard work. It's like, no, you should be able to put on a Bond film and just switch off a little bit and just kind of enjoy it as we go. But speaking of that, so set pieces. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold the phone. Sorry, Carl gave me a dagger's look of like, fucking beer, mate. Beer. Right, so we have had Dominic Green King.
Dominic Green King IPA.
We have had Le Chouffe.
Right, that bent
8%, yeah. And we've had
Colonel Blue Moon.
Blue Moon, yeah, from Die Another Day. So we're going back another film?
We're going back another film.
So World Is Not Enough.
The World Is Not Enough.
So the guy with the cold, Renee?
No. Who's the real villain?
Oh, it's Electra King.
It's Electra King Goblin.
Very good. Electra King Goblin, a Imperial Ruby Beer, 6.6%, 500 mils, Hobgoblin Brewery. I haven't had this one.
No, I don't think I have either.
I've had a few of the Hobgoblin versions. Like there's a blondie one. There's the traditional one.
There we go. Electra King Goblin.
Yeah. All right. Let's give her a taste.
Royally rich and dangerously smooth. Sounds like Roger Moore.
Does. Well, maybe. Whilst we're enjoying that beer, we are going to talk about the set pieces across all of the Bonds, have a bit of a discussion, and then rate our top 3 set pieces. Okay? So, let's talk a bit about them first, Carl. Set pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Generally. How many skiing scenes have you picked in your top 3? He loves a ski, doesn't he? Loves a skier, Bond.
He does love a skiing.
Less so recently.
Yeah.
Gone off the skiing. But when I was doing
in my top 3, there's none in my top 3.
when I was doing the rewatching, right, I watched 2 because I was doing like the best and worst rated of each Bond, and there was 2 next to each other that were pretty similar.
Yeah.
Similar skiing scenes. I was like, oh, okay. Does he do this every film?
They do like a skiing scene.
But it's a fair feat. But did Brosnan do a skiing?
Yeah, he will have done in The World
didn't
Is
he?
Not Enough. Yeah.
Yeah. There was in The World Is Not Enough. He did do a skiing. I don't think Craig's done any skiing.
No.
No.
Oh, hang on. No Time to Die?
With wait, was he in that building? Was that with where she grew up? That thing?
I don't know.
Anyway, there was ice and snow. Anyway, regardless, where do you want to start with your set pieces?
What do you think about the Bond universe approach to set pieces? Because we've talked a lot about practical effects and...
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, I mean, they are very much practical effect driven, right?
Yeah.
Which we like. And when you can actually see the fucking thing, you get the appreciation. You get the appreciation for it. And that sort of stunt driving and stunt set piece generation is almost like a dying art, I think, isn't it, with the CGI. Yeah. And even going back to what's the movie with Emily Blunt recently?
Is it just The Stuntman?
Yeah. Where it goes into all of that side of things. And you're like, oh yeah, these are actual people that are fucking
Fall Guy.
Fall Guy, that's it.
The
Stuntman. Jesus. I think I could have come up with that title. So, what's that movie about the stuntman? The Stuntman? No, Fall Guy. But that even reminds you of just like, oh yeah, it is actually like a human idiot that is in that being a crash test dummy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of skill to it, I guess.
There's so many. There's so many that are good, and again, I reference the sort of these making of shorts that you'll find on YouTube. They're really, really good. They do largely commit very hard to the practical effects side of it. Obviously, abominations exist, like the windsurfing CGI thing in Die Another Day.
But they stick out like a sore thumb as
well. They really
do,
right? And I went to see that film at the cinema, and all people were talking about next day back at school was, did you go see that? Like, yeah. Oh, what about the windsurfing? Fucking hell, it was awful.
But that's it. It's like, how did he not realise this is they're putting it together?
So many people signed off on that for it to get to that stage.
Do you think they're so deep into it, right? Where they're just like, how impressive it is that we've managed to achieve this windsurfing digitally without actually it happening. Like, isn't that amazing? And you're just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, just stop.
It's silly, isn't it? A fair few of them as well were firsts or world records.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. They've always sort of sought to, a bit like the way Tom Cruise does now with the Mission Impossibles.
How else can I nearly kill myself?
Exactly. It's very much a thing of we've got to do a big stunt. We've got to push it. We've got to do this. And that's been there. It's funny. Recently, my dad again messaged me about, have you seen how silly the old James Bond films are? They have that jetpack in Thunderball. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that was real.
Yeah.
It was a prototype. It was real. That was actually a real person going up in a jetpack, and it was absolutely at the cutting edge of technology.
And it's fucking cool.
Time. Yeah.
Who doesn't love a jetpack?
You sort of take it. I mean, I say jetpacks you take for granted because they've still not quite got there, have they?
They are not there, no. You've got those water-powered packs.
Yeah.
You've seen them. Where you sort of fire and flying around. That'd be quite cool to do, but completely impractical for actual transportation.
Yeah. But this was a thing, and it had a really limited flight time. I think you could only do like 20 seconds and all the rest of it. But nevertheless, they put that on screen. It was real. It looked cool.
Did you ever watch The Rocketeer?
No.
Oh, see, that was one of those films I kept watching as a kid. I think it's like a Disney film. And that is man with jetpack flying around and stuff. If I remember rightly, it all goes wrong and he solves it by using chewing gum to
that old
clog a
chestnut
thing. Brilliant.
Yeah.
But I remember watching that film a lot as a kid. I haven't watched it as an adult. I'm a bit scared to because it might be really shit. But I might watch it with the boy and see what that's like. But jetpacks are cool.
They are cool. Yeah.
But the one-upping bit is what can sometimes lead to the windsurfing.
Yeah. Well, we can't do this practically. Well, then don't.
Yeah.
Then don't do it.
But interesting, the Craig stunts, nothing that really, in terms of set piece stunts, that side of things, that really stood out to me that much. I struggled more. Okay. There was like a sweet spot in the middle, I felt. But then like the Craig ones, nothing was springing to mind. There were some really nice shots and really nicely framed fight scenes, but not necessarily big stunt set pieces that...
Well, we know that we're not getting any out of Quantum. Right?
No.
Let me throw a couple at you out of Casino and then I'll call one out of Skyfall. So, I think we've got to talk about the parkour chase.
Oh shit, no, I've actually called that one out.
I was going to say my top three. Yeah, you can't not call that one out. Because they actually got the guy in who basically invented parkour as an organised
It's so fucking cool, that
thing.
one. I've literally got it highlighted in yellow on my screen. How would I not see that?
Yeah. Again, there's a nice little 10-15 minute making of on YouTube. And of course, some of it is done at ground level. But a lot of it is done at height, both with the actors and the stuntmen. Some of the jumps they are doing, obviously it's the stuntmen, between the cranes. Yes, they're wired up. But you better believe if they get that wrong, they're breaking a leg.
Yeah, I'm still shitting myself, like regardless. Yeah.
And the biggest jump, the guy was like, because of whatever constraints, we literally only had the one shot at it. They nail it first time. they're doing all that stuff, man. It looks so cool. And you've got a marvelous. It's a great piece of filmmaking because you've got this parkour guy doing these stunts. Then you've got the bull in the china shop. That is great.
Still the best bit is running through the stud wall.
Yeah, having to fail his way through the same shit, the same stunts.
And I love that they did that. That they didn't make him like, oh yeah, of course Bond can do parkour.
It's such a great set piece. Yeah, it is such a great.
But you imagine they could have just gone like, oh, it's modern Bond. Yeah, he can do all this stuff. Yeah. No, he can't.
No, he's different.
Blags his way.
He's going to get the job done, but it's not going to look like.
But just running through that stud wall where he's like, through it, as just epitomised it. I thought it was great.
It's so cool. I mean, and like he's not landing cleanly on the cranes. You feel his impact.
Yeah.
No, it's really good. So you've got that.
Sorry, so that is actually in my top 3. So that is a proper oversight.
Nothing jumps out except that one. Nothing jumps out apart from
the first one. Yeah.
There's another one. The Aston role, the Aston Martin role
in Casino Royale, where she's on the road.
She's on the road. That was actually done at the Alpine Test Track in the UK. Fans of Top Gear will have seen that a few times.
Richard Hammond inside.
They were going for one role.
Really?
So they tested it with a BMW, and they were like, "We can get this thing to roll over. We think it'll roll over a few times. We think it's going to look really cool." Right? They were doing it with a ramp.
Yeah, I've seen,
Yeah. When they then got the Aston, they were like, the Aston, the downforce this thing's generating, the Aston will not roll. So they did it. They were like, no, that won't work. Let's increase the ramp height 3-fold. Wouldn't work. And there's some seriously cool shots of it, landing and then skidding down. And it sort of brings home to you, oh, yeah, they're actually driving this fucking car.
And wrecking these cars.
Yeah, and it's going like, 70 odd miles an hour. They're not doing this in slow motion. Really good. So what they ended up having to do instead is they installed like an air ram in the car to basically, when they hit the mark, just fucking explode off of the ground.
Yeah.
And the stunt driver was like, we were aiming for 1. I'll be happy if it can do 1. Because they couldn't get to do any. Yeah, they got 7, which ended up being a world record, I think. There was another film that managed to get 5 rolls of a car. As that stunt, but yeah, they got 7. It just looks amazing. And again, this is the problem with CGI, right? Because we also then downplay real stuff. Because you go, the art of the possible, which is anything with CGI, you sort of forget that no, they really did that with a real car, and they were going 75 miles an hour or whatever.
So just to call out another one, it didn't make my top 3, but is well worth calling out because it was a world record at the time. So the Man with the Golden Gun.
Yes.
Corkscrew car jump over a bridge.
Yeah.
With the inexplicable
Swanee whistle
guy who was in the car with him.
Oh,
He was on holiday in Thailand for some reason for a previous film.
You boy, you're that secret agent fella from England. Yeah, but, awful decision.
But you have rewatched it recently? But how they decided to score that as they were going over? It's a slide whistle.
Yeah, I know, it's awful. It's fucking Swanee whistle,
mate. Why?
Right, that also absolutely groundbreaking because it was one of the first stunts to utilise a computer to model it.
Right. Okay.
So, because they're like, this hasn't been done before. Like, it literally had not been done before.
Is this physically possible?
Is this physically possible? They employ the use of a computer to try and map it out and model it, right? They pull it off. It looks incredible, and then they absolutely ruin it with the fucking slide whistle. It's ridiculous.
Bizarre.
That is
such a bizarre choice.
Era all over.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. Because it completely underwhelms the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it should be like, and the way it was shot actually was a bit weird because they just shot it sideways.
Too many cuts.
Huh?
Too many cuts.
No, not enough cuts.
No, well, do you not think when they cut into him inside going like?
But I think that you needed like multiple angles of so you could see it front on and side on.
Well, that's what they got right in Casino with that Aston flip because they also get it from behind as he swerves and you get the roll there. It's just seriously cool.
Yeah, it's this. Yeah, a cut of the same thing, so you're seeing different angles of the same thing. Yeah.
Skyfall, the train crash, the underground train crash.
Can't recall.
It's a real train that they end up piling through the. Yeah.
Oh, is that when he's chasing
Raoul Silver?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
By the way, I couldn't get hold of a Heineken Raoul Silver.
No. Not rewatched these movies yet, so they're a bit fuzzy. Sorry.
Yeah, but again, that is a massive scene that is done very much for real. Now, of course, they, have a rig to guide the train down and all the rest of it. But it's a real scene that's
Have you been to
crashing and smashing
Universal
into the thing.
Studios and?
No, I know what you're talking about with the
Yeah, you're in like a train
It's
station.
in
thing
Demolition
and
Man,
stuff
isn't it? They do that sort of thing in Demolition Man
That's
as
all
well.
great though. Even though it's all just like on rails and stuff like that.
Because it's real. You're not watching a screen.
No,
It's a real thing
you
that's
feel the
moving
heat from the
towards you.
fire. You feel, it's fantastic.
Yeah, movies work the same way. Spectre. For all this, nothing jumps out of Daniel Craig. Spectre
Yeah,
had
but I didn't remember that.
the biggest explosion in a movie ever, where they blow up the base.
Feels like they're overcompensating for something.
Yeah. And I get it. You can go, and this is where we've been spoiled a bit because you can go, just an explosion.
Yeah, I am right away with explosions.
Yeah,
Very much
I
just
understand it, but like, from a production point of view, they are still going at this hard. They're like, it needs to be big. It needs to be real. We're going to go for it. So, I know what you're saying. It's not for want of trying with Craig's era. They've really.
But I feel I don't know. It feels like it's almost like a choice as well. That it's not the set pieces, but it's not a Mission Impossible film. They're not doing the same sort of thing as what Tom Cruise is doing, which is how can we escalate this? How can we escalate this? How can we escalate this? In that way, because they're doing a different thing with Craig's.
Well, I think they're still trying to serve the film first.
Yeah.
Right. I think some of those Mission Impossible things are very much the what can I do next?
Yeah, but
which is totally fine, by the way.
That's become its complete thing. Yeah,
Totally
that's
fine.
what you go to see the films for, almost as well.
Oh God! Did you see the Dead Reckoning? Did you go to the cinema?
Part 1. Yeah,
I went to cinema. How they really ruined that motorbike jump
off the mountain with
because it's an amazing stunt. The first thing they get wrong, showing everybody the stunt in the trailer, and then it was a central part of the marketing campaign.
Yeah,
what are you doing, dickheads? Stop it.
But there's other stuff you can show to go isn't this cool?
Just tease the first bit of it. We don't need to see the fall. The second bit they get wrong, which is in the film, not a marketing thing. Instead of just letting it be silent and then fall all the way, you get fucking Simon Pegg, Benji, talking over it on the way down. I was like, God, not now, lad. Just let the big TC fly through the air.
Let the action do the talking.
Yeah. No. Fantastic stuff in those films. There is another one, actually, in No Time to Die. The plane that ends up getting its wings clipped and flying down the...
Which one?
Mountain. No Time to Die, the last Craig one.
Right, plane.
It's got a bit of the Living Daylights about it. It's sliding down the slope in the cello case and all the rest of it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's a deliberate sort of homage to that, but you end up at this plane
I
sort of...
about that scene. That's fucking ridiculous. I love
flying
it.
through. Yeah, you know that they'll have done it for real, though.
Yeah.
you know that. It's a pretty impressive set piece, but so they're the modern ones. What are some of your favourite older ones then?
So ones that
the car flip
stood out. The car flip, the corkscrew bit. There was one for Your Eyes Only. I think it's in the opening scene where he's like, there's like this not runaway helicopter, it's been remote controlled helicopter. And he manages to take control of the helicopter and he picks Blofeld up in his wheelchair.
Not Blofeld.
But okay, well, a bald man.
Because at this point they'd been sued.
Okay.
So they weren't allowed to use Blofeld because he's part of Spectre.
Right.
Kevin McClory. So that whole scene was put in. They dump him down the chimney.
Get rid of it.
As a sort of fuck you to, here's how much we don't want to use Blofeld.
But it was brilliant in its ridiculousness at that point.
It's ridiculous, all right.
Yeah. Where you're just like, you're picking up a disabled man and dumping him down the chimney with a helicopter. I mean, mental.
So, I mean, I think that whole sequence is fucking ridiculous, and it sums up everything I hate about Roger Moore films. However, there is some wonderful, in that sequence, flying of the helicopter indoors through buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And again, done for real.
And then the other thing that didn't quite make my top three, but nearly did, was we talked about Connery's physicality. And And in From Russia with Love, there's a train fight.
Oh, the train fight.
And it's like...
It's brutal.
Yeah. It's like Jason Bourne style shit. Like, it's proper real. Like, a lot of the Bond fist fight scenes, and I'm particularly talking about the Roger Moore ones, where...
No, I don't think I will do
that. they're just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay, you've done this big, long telegraph punch. Yep, you've hit him, okay. Then you've thrown him. You've done some sort of judo toss. They love the judo tosses around here. But this was not showy in any way whatsoever. It was so tight and compact, really realistic. So, yeah, I thought that was a...
And you know who he's fighting, don't you?
Fantastic. Who he is fighting? Red someone?
Red Grant.
Yeah.
But who's playing Red Grant?
I don't know.
Robert Shaw.
Is it Robert Shaw?
Yeah, he of Jaws fame.
Jaws, yeah.
Quint.
I think it was him.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's fantastic that.
Any others you want to call out before?
Yeah, what about, and you could easily put this in gadgets, but You Only Live Twice, Little Nelly. The gyrocopter that comes, they send it out to him in suitcases, and he builds up this little mini helicopter, and he goes up and basically dogfights with some other things.
I don't recall that one.
It's a real thing.
Yeah?
It's a real thing, yeah. They mocked up the sort of missiles to put on it, of course. It doesn't really, it's not military grade. But that was a real thing, cutting edge technology for its time. There was a guy up there flying it around. It's all real. It's why it looks so good. Okay, do I want to call any others out before we go on to our top 3? Oh, I mean, there's so many. One last one, which is Thunderball again.
Oh, I'm not too familiar with Thunderball. Go on.
Skyhook.
Oh, Skyhook, yeah. They've used that in... What have they used that in? Another more recent...
Yeah, a lot more recent, yeah.
What was it?
Was that Mission Impossible?
I don't know. Was it Batman?
Ah, yeah.
Was it Nolan Batman Skyhook?
Yes, I think it could have been a... That's a good shout.
He loves a Bond as well, Nolan.
He does love a Bond, yeah. Let's double check that afterwards, but I think you might be right with that. Yeah, the Skyhook, right? This is another one that you look at and you go, well, that's silly.
Yes, but real.
Don't know if it was silly or not, but it was real.
Yeah.
It was an experimental military technology at the time, and they went, yeah, we'll do that. We'll sweep them up at the out of the ocean at the end.
Dark Knight.
Plane flying over. Dark Knight, yeah. No, very, very cool. No, I have got one more I need to call out because Goldfinger, the bench, the laser towards his balls.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the laser's not real.
Well, no shit.
Just a light CGI. But what was real is underneath that bench, whilst Connery was on it, somebody was there with an acetylene torch cutting the...
the bench.
Cutting the bench towards his bollocks.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So they could paint the light in.
But they couldn't make it look like...
Well, the best and easiest way to get the cut towards his balls... So
you're seriously like, dude, yeah. Dude, that's going to be close.
He's there going, looking around, you're expecting to talk? It's like, fucking hell, he's really sweating at that point. So, yeah.
Oh, imagine that stunt going wrong.
Yeah, no, very cool. All right.
Right, I've got to put these in order because I've not actually done that yet. So, okay, go.
All right, number 3 for me. We have already mentioned it. Casino Royale parkour chase.
Same for me. Number 3 as well. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's we've already talked about it.
Oh, it's fantastic. A really good sequence.
I wonder how long that scene is because it feels like a big chunk of the movie.
Yeah,
but it sets the tone, I think, as well.
It really does. Yeah,
even the opening part of that, and it's a really funny bit where Bond's kind of up high, looking down at this cockfighting, whatever it is, something or other. And there's like another
mongoose and a snake, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Another agent. I watched this like a week ago. I should remember that. And there's like the other agent who's like,
"Get your finger out of here!"
What? What do you know? Just like,
please double down.
And then it leads up to that. It's just a really like light moment, but just shows like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing.
Fuck's sake.
And it leads into that whole chase, which is brilliant. Yeah. And then ends obviously with him blowing up an embassy and not looking great. Okay, so that's both our number 3s. Number 2.
Well, my number 2 we haven't mentioned yet. It's Live and Let Die.
Okay.
It's the crocodiles.
Oh, yeah.
where he runs
across them.
the crocodiles.
Yeah. Is that real?
That is real. So there's a YouTube video because the guy that does it, who owns the crocodile farm, his name is Tananga, right?
Oh. Wait.
Yes, because they... Kananga, sorry, his name's Kananga. Ross Kananga, his name is. So they were like, yeah, you've done this stunt for us, brilliant. We're going to
name the villain.
We're going to name the villain after
that's
you
amazing.
because that's amazing. Yeah. So,
good knowledge.
So there's a video on YouTube of I think 7 takes where it goes wrong.
Oh.
And
how wrong are we talking?
Well, it gets hold of his trousers and he's like, fuck it, give me that. Do you mind? Give me that back. So the real crocodiles, they were basically tethered, not the mouths. They were just tethered in place so we could run across them around the bodies.
But mouths open to...
Mouths open, 100%. And it takes him like 7 takes to get right. And he falls in the water in various different positions. And the crocodiles have various different reactions to him. It is incredible. And again, fucking real.
Tell you what, health and safety would not sign that.
Oh, they would not go for that these days.
Jesus.
Yeah. Ross Kananga, Live and Let Die, crocodiles, amazing.
Right, I've thrown in a more one here.
A more?
Yep. Spy Who Loved Me.
Uh-huh.
The opening ski chase where he's wearing this bright orange ski suit.
Yeah.
Skating around. Lots of shooting. Classic Bond skiing thing. Just wanted to throw it in there because there's a lot of dodgy back projection stuff. But as a set piece itself of him basically taking on everyone, it's brilliant. But what makes it is the off the cliff.
Yeah.
And then the, oh shit. And then the Union Jack.
It was and then you get the Bond theme as well. Over
yeah,
it was a huge ski jump at the time that I read some Reddit threads about this and set piece in general. And people say, I went to the cinema to see that. And the whole cinema broke out in applause. Now, I am against applauding at the cinema, right? Because they're not here to hear you grow up. I'm even against applauding the pilot. And he is there, but it's his job.
Yeah.
Right. That's his job. But I can well imagine that happens.
Imagine seeing that and you just like, holy fuck.
Yeah, you just go, yes. If you're in the right mood, yes, I'll applaud that. Yeah,
it just we're talking because we're going to America soon on a holiday. I was like, Emma, we should go to the cinema.
Yeah.
Just because, one, it'll probably be fucking bigger than anything we've got here, regardless of where we go to. But also, if we go to see something crowd-pleasing, they might applaud.
Yeah,
they might cheer and applaud.
They might be really rude and annoy each other. Fighting. Yeah. Ooh.
Good pod fodder, regardless.
Yeah, you should go to the cinema. That's a good show.
What was your number 2?
My number 2. Well, my number 2 is Live and Let Die Crocodiles.
Sorry. No, what's your number 1? Sorry.
Number 1. So another one we've not mentioned yet. GoldenEye.
Yep. My number 1 as well.
Yeah.
The whole opening scene,
the whole opening scene, the whole cold open, which obviously culminates again in the Bond theme.
The bungee jump,
amazing. The dam jump again, record breaking at the time. It was the largest bungee jump ever undertaken. It's an epic scene. It's real, fantastic. And then if you've ever played GoldenEye on the N64, you run through dam, and what do? You get to jump off, and fantastic!
It's amazing. That game
really,
is just
really
immense.
Yeah,
I was saying, just want to play that on a huge screen with three mates, and just it'd be amazing. But
we'll have to somehow work that into like a pod special at some point, playing N64 GoldenEye.
Oh, fantastic!
No,
I
really
wonder
good.
if they got it on the Switch and stuff, and you can get that on.
Yeah, it's on that. It's on Xbox as well. But yeah, no, there you go. GoldenEye, dam jump, superb,
good stuff. Okay, let's move on to the plot then. So, Carl, where do you want to start? Actually, fuck it. Sorry, I've done it again. Carl's empty. We need to unveil the fifth ale? Fifth ale.
We've had Dominic Green
King. Yep.
Le Chouf,
yep.
which by the way, that's my favourite, by the way.
Le Chouf. That's pretty good.
That was the one where I thought I could do Dominic Green King. That was the one when I saw Le Chouf, I thought,
That's it.
Bond villains. There's something in this. There's something in this. Le Chouf. Who did we have after
Colonel
that?
Blue Moon.
Colonel Blue Moon. Very good.
Yep.
We've just had Electra King Goblin.
Yep.
So, of course, that takes us on to Tomorrow Never Dies. Working backwards.
Which is Elliot?
Elliot Carver.
Elliot Carver,
Yeah. You think of any...
Carver. Elliot Carver.
Any beer to do with Elliot Carver?
Carver. No?
No, neither could I. So...
Something to do with the press. Something to do with...
So we're going all the way back to Live and Let Die.
Oh, okay. Right. Live and Let Die.
And we've got Mr. Big Drop. Big Drop are a brewery that do non-alcoholic beers.
Yeah. I'm familiar with Big Drop. I'm not getting... Is that
Mr. Big. Mr.
Oh,
Big, yeah.
right,
Mr. Big Drop.
okay, right,
Mr.
yeah.
Big Drop.
Again, didn't rewatch Live and Let Die.
Right,
as part
okay,
of this,
yeah. So his name's Mr. Big. He's also Kananga, but that's, he's got that dual identity
they're the same thing.
Yes, he's got the dual.
I remember Kananga. I couldn't remember the Mr. Big thing.
So, Mr. Big, and I've gone for the stout version of their Big Drop because he's black. So,
Well, there we go. Thank you. So they've got the IBUs on this.
I've had some Big Drop stuff before. It's good gear.
And gluten free.
My memory was.
Good gear. Interesting you use that phrase. Where's that phrase come from?
I don't know. Good gear.
Yeah. Well, right. So I watched these clips of this Australian podcast.
Yeah.
We got the chocolates. I think I mentioned it before. They're a good source of dad jokes
Right.
and stuff. And they always do the thing if there's a good joke, it's good gear. It's good gear.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I didn't know whether you would.
No.
This isn't
Just
a thing.
a phrase. Yeah.
It's not a phrase I'd come across before. So
fair
it's,
enough.
interesting.
Well,
Looks,
this Big
looks
Drop.
legit.
It's good gear.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Anyway, now we're moving on to the plot. Fucking hell.
That's not bad either.
Smooth. 4 hours in. Let's go.
It's 3.
Where do you want to start with the plot, Carl? Because I've basically talked all over the plot in previous sections.
Yeah, of course. All right, let's just have a bit of plot v story again, as we've become accustomed to doing on this podcast. So this movie's got 2 stories, I think. One's self-contained, so we talk about Bond films being able to pick them up and put them down and all the rest of it, and that's not what the Craig here is about.
So the self-contained one is the nefarious bad guy plot.
Absolutely. Yeah. So in here, we've dropped in the middle. You're Dominic Green, head of a shady organisation, which we later know will become Spectre or is aligned with Spectre. Sorry, Quantum, yeah. But we know later
which will later become
Spectre when they get the rights back.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great when you say it like that, does it? Yeah. They're working with governments to overthrow countries and then sort of profit from that. I think that story, very good, very realistic. That is exactly how that sort of stuff works. We see it all the time.
So, yes, agree.
I'm not talking about the execution of that. I'm just
no. I agree.
The
it's
plot
very
was.
realistic. Is it the most interesting, exciting though?
No, that's fair enough. Not necessarily.
I think that's the thing. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
Second part.
The second bit is the Casino Royale sequel.
The
We've got a
revenge.
second story there. We're tying up loose ends from Casino Royale, of which there are a few. Casino Royale is not a flawless movie. It does get more, let's say, complicated in its third act, and you don't know which way to turn and who's what and all the rest of it. We're tying up some loose ends. Bond is going through this arc. He's figuring out what's what, how he's going to cope, how he moves forward, all that sort of stuff. Like you say, there's a revenge thing. Now, I do have a bit of a problem with Bond's arc in general, but it doesn't really affect things here. I think I'd like it to be a bit brighter and breezier in places, but it's a far bigger issue in Spectre. He's really, really bogged down in Spectre. Skyfall is a bit of a reprieve because you get this thing where they lean more into the Bond tropes and they bring Q back and they're going to do this, and we've got Home Alone with bombs at the end and all the rest of it. That's a bit more fun, more overt fun in that.
There is some fun in this.
There is some fun in this, yeah.
There are moments where he gets back to relax Bond and
Yeah.
say with Agent Fields, not Strawberry Fields, Agent Fields, or whoever.
Strawberry Blonde Agent Fields.
Just that scene together with the going to the hotel and going like, fuck no, I'm not staying here.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I'd rather be dead.
Yeah.
Going here. Yeah. We're so on the sababbatical. Teachers on the sabbatical. We've just won the lottery. It's just like, that's nice. Yeah. And we go straight into the room and basically goes... he basically goes, can you... I can't remember what the phrase is.
Stationery. I can't find the... and he even pauses. It's like, I'm having trouble finding the... Stationery?
And she's
can
like...
you give it a hand?
Oh, fine, I'll suck it. I'll suck it. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'd suck it, to be fair.
So there are moments to it.
So there's... You've got this second story, which is this continuation. And of course, that means we get Mathis and we get Felix... Yeah. And the yes, we always get Felix back, but we don't get to take the relationship on. It's always like a fresh thing. So we get all that, and I think as a sort of a headline, the first story is good in that it's realistic and it's perfectly fine, and I think the second story I love because I love Casino Royale. So it's like any excuse to go, yes, give me more Casino Royale. Thank you very much. Let's take this on a bit. I'm still in that sort of good mood. Brilliant. Now, if you watch them completely standalone, maybe that doesn't hit the same.
Joe,
you watch them one after the other.
Just on that, though, on a standalone piece, does Casino Royale stand alone? In that, if you just watch Casino Royale and didn't watch anything further, does it stand up in terms of being a
I
finished
loved
product?
Casino Royale from the get go.
Me too. Yeah.
I loved
it. But do you think it's do you think it finishes enough based on what it does in terms of that ending?
I haven't rated Casino Royale 5 stars. I haven't rated 4.5. I've rated 4 stars.
Yeah, it's a 4
now,
for me.
I've definitely probably underscored the Bonds a little bit. We were joking the other week about where I've put them in relation to the films. I could probably push that to 4.5. I would not push it to 5 because it does have a third act where it gets a bit muddled. And you sort of go in, well, so is Mathis turned? Is he Lashiv's thing? What's Vesper's motivations here? And you don't get that resolution until this film.
Yeah.
So I think they work very, very well as a companion piece. Fair to say Casino Royale is the better film, no doubt.
Yeah.
And that has definitely got more of a standalone quality to it. But no, yeah, fair enough. You could say, no, it benefits from having this exist.
And I really like the ending of this movie, but it only works because Casino Royale exists.
100%, yeah.
In isolation, it would be shocking.
And this is the thing. Sense. This is the thing where you've got 2 stories going on here because he's wrapped up the other story. That's fine. That's a self-contained thing.
Then they wrap up the second.
But this other story is dependent on Casino Royale existing, and if you want to level that as a criticism, you can't argue with it. Yeah, fine. The way I see it, and the way I said to you to watch this is, watch this after Casino Royale. It's loads of fun.
Yeah,
we get to carry on what is great about Casino Royale. It's all good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about the execution. So I know we've gone over this some of this in production, but that first 20 minutes, yes, we link up with the last plot, but we also kickstart the plot for this film. We get a bit of exposition, not a lot, but we get a bit. We have 3 set pieces, which is the car chase, the rogue agent shoot, the knife fight in the hotel. And that's all in 20 minutes. How's that hitting you?
What was the second set piece you said?
The second set piece is the what you think could have been the gun barrel scene.
Oh,
the agent chasing down Mitchell. Yeah. The third one is the knife fight in the hotel.
Yeah, it's weird because that is a lot of action to pack in, for sure. Is it compensating for Casino Royale? Because we kind of talked about that is a bit of a weird structure for a Bond film. It's not a weird structure for a Bond film. It's a weird structure for a modern Bond film from the Brosnan era of things where it's in that routine. Where they packing the action up front in this one. I know that didn't feel too bad. It didn't feel negative in any way. I quite like the fact because you're continuing, and it becomes back to continuing a story. Because you continue it, it's getting the momentum straight back up, and you're going and you're going and you're moving, and then it's like, okay, and now rest, and now we figure out actually what the fuck's going on with all of this.
Yeah. Well, it's not a big rest because then we also get, again, a bit of exposition, and then he's back on the trail. He's sent to, is it Haiti he's sent to at that point? No, he's already gone to Haiti. Cause
Haiti for Slate, that's where he's...
That's that's the knife scene on the balcony.
And then he gets picked up by...
He gets picked up. We get the bike flip.
Bike flip?
Let me backtrack because...
He's on the bike, I remember.
No, but I want to backtrack to before that. So he comes out the hotel, he's got the briefcase, car chase.
Yeah. Bit of a car chase.
That's
a
not
little
long after.
mini car, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's not after. She comes up and she's like, "Get in!" And he's like, "What?"
Okay.
Get in! And then and I love this because this is Craig's Bond in a nutshell. So much sassier. He just goes, "All right," because he is so fuck it. Let's see.
That reminded me of the Dalton Bond though.
Yeah.
Do you remember when there's like two girls drive up and he's like, "Oh, get in! You want to go for a party?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And then they're like, "Yeah, we've got you.
Yeah.
We've got a gun here, and we're gonna get."
Yeah, he has got a bit of that. Yeah.
But yeah, then it goes to the
Then he flips
dock
the bike
scene
after that. Yeah. Before the dock scene. Yeah.
What's the flip in the bike? Why can't I remember this?
So it's after she kicks him out because he's like, "I think someone's trying to kill you."
Yeah.
And then the guy who was chasing her was like, "You were supposed to kill her."
Oh, the bike is like the guy that's on the bike. Got you. Bike flip. Yep.
I missed, and then he revs the accelerator, and it's really cool. But again, it's all very punchy. It's very fast.
Yeah, it is actually.
Because we're like, we've done the 3 set piece in 20 minutes. We've got a bit of a car chase there. There's a bit of exposition there because they're talking about, "Who are you? I'm the architect." Yeah. Is it architect?
No,
not ecologist. What's the
No, go on. The rock's geologist.
Geologist. That's right. Yeah. They're all the rest of it, and then she's like, "Kick you out because I think someone's trying to kill you." Off you go, and then he comes, "Oh, who's this guy?" And it's like, "Right, fuck you," on the bike. Then it's the dock scene.
Yeah,
and I guess that is the first bit, the dock scene, where we get a bit of a lull. And we do get a bit more.
Not for long though.
No, it's not. It's not ages, but nothing in this film is. This is what I was saying about. Like, I know what you mean when you're saying, okay, it's short, but it doesn't necessarily feel short because they have packed a lot in.
It's more than you think when you actually talk about it as well.
It is, yeah. There's
a lot of action, which is weird considering the fact that it's not.
Well, the problem is that they haven't done some of it very well.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, because that dock scene is basically there's a bit of chit chat. There's then they're setting up the Olga Kurylenko
character. Camille and what's his name?
Bit of a backstory
Medrano.
of the general, yeah. General, yeah. And I mean, I think on the plot side of things, getting to her bit, I know why they've done it. They've tried to get like a parallel revenge thing going on so they can connect over a not common target, but a common theme for closure and all of that. But I think I just struggled to care. Like I get I definitely care about the Bond revenge because I've seen it in the previous one. I get it. They're trying to build up this other revenge thing where she wants to kill the awful general. And you're like, well, sure, he's an awful human. Great, go for it. But I don't really care about the fact that he killed your mum and dad and whatever.
So the thing that the shorter runtime squeezes them into, because they didn't want a shorter runtime, and they have got these two plots, right? Because they don't want to do 100% Casino Royale 2. They want to bring their own flavour to this particular
Imagine
Bond
if they
adventure.
called it Casino Royale 2.
Yeah. So we have got this other plot. The thing that it forces them into is they have to be tight with the plot, and that's a strength, right? Because
we like a top plot.
Yeah, we do. And what you end up with is it's actually pretty simple. Everybody's got clear motivations. There's not many plot holes because there's actually not a lot of plot. We don't move through that many steps, right? You've also then got realistic villains. This isn't a consequence of the short runtime, but it really helps. You've got realistic villains. You've got a real world thing that everybody can identify to. So it's easy to pick up. This isn't like Casino Royale, where you watch that and you go, I'm not quite sure of their motivations and all the rest of it. It's like, but I take what you're saying. You go, but the problem is because they've not spent a lot of time on it, it doesn't quite land because I don't care enough.
Yeah,
and I think that would be the fairest criticism of this story in the film, which is still a world away from what this got panned for. I think in being overly broody and sort of.
I honestly don't think it is overly. I don't think it is overly broody.
It's not full of plot holes. It is. I think not fast is the wrong word, but it is full. It is tight. Not fast, but it is tight.
And I think that's almost where it falls down, because like my big gripe number 2 and 3 combined, right? So the second one is that I think the villain is a little bit, and not even necessarily a villain, but the villain's nefarious plot, right? And associated goons. So if you've got a villain who is not threatening in terms of a physical manner, he's not a threat to Bond in that way. He's a not very nice man. He's doing not very nice things, but he doesn't have the odd job. He doesn't have the jaws. He doesn't have the something that's like a
Mr. Stamper even.
Yeah. Doesn't have anything of like that. They've got the Elvis guy with the wig.
Yeah.
He does fuck all. He literally doesn't do anything. The whole movie.
Yeah.
He serves no purpose. He phones up Bond. That's literally his only purpose. He doesn't do anything. So as it felt a bit weird that there's no threat to Bond from that side of things.
So it doesn't have like Bond. What did you say before?
I don't know.
You used a lovely turn of phrase.
Nefarious.
No. When we're talking about Bond moments and so iconography. Iconography.
Yeah, iconography. Yeah.
It's okay. The iconography of the henchman. Is
yeah,
missing.
henchman. Yeah.
Which, for all Spectre's faults, we get Dave Bautista with Mr. Hinks.
Yeah.
Fantastic henchman. Really good. It doesn't have that, but it does have some really cool sort of scenes or exchanges. I'm thinking of the bar scene where Mathis goes to see Bond in the plane in the bar on the plane. He's drinking the Vespa.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
The cocktail recipe?
Really did.
And the barman's delivery on that is so good as well.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you drinking? And like Bond, I'm not going to tell you, he's slosh, but it's very much like I can't even remember. I didn't write the ingredients down, but it's like, oh, you do? Right, okay, right. I'm just going to pick this Mr. Big Drop up and sit back and relax while Simon takes us through.
No. We'll skip past that because it might be coming back later.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. But it's so good, and then he just finishes off with 6 of them. Impressive. Yeah, it's all very cool, and when you talk about like Bond films are supposed to be fun and cool, that scene is very, very.
But that is the first time you've seen Bond. He's fucked.
Yeah.
Like he is fucked. Like you drink 6 of those bad boys, no matter what your liver is doing, like you're not going to be well.
But it's like 4.5 shots of
per drink.
Yeah, 6 of them.
Mental.
You've already mentioned the exchange in the hotel and going to the more upmarket hotel.
Yeah.
But even that is a callback to Casino Royale because when they check into the hotel...
Yeah, the cover.
Yeah, and he blows the cover.
Yeah,
and they go, we're here under Mr. Beach.
He already knows.
And he found it. Yeah, he knows who I am. I'm wearing a $3,000 suit. Yeah. He knows who I am. And it's like, similarly, he can't walk into a shantytown hotel and pass that off. He's like, don't be silly. Come on. And that really leans into the sort of the suaveness of Bond. Like, no. We are who we are. It's cool. Accept it. We'll deal with it.
Yeah. And just getting back to the gripe that I have. So we said about the goons, the henchmen not being a. So you've either got, I think, with the Bond, you've got to have a physical match, or you've got to have another kind of match which is outsmarting him. It's a mental thing. And Dominic Green, he's he doesn't come across as a particularly like he's not like above average intellectual thing. He's a businessman. He's doing that.
Yeah.
But like Le Chiffre, as an example, seems like he's a fucking genius kind of level guy, right? So then when it comes to the plot of the nefarious villain, the basically overcharging for water.
Yeah.
So basically any British Yorkshire water, for example, could be example. I mean, Evian have been fucking doing it for years.
We literally saw PPE scandals to ape this very same thing.
Yeah.
In the COVID thing, it's like the people who help you get elected are the ones that are going to profit from this thing.
And it's funny actually because they based this on a real thing. I don't know where it was, but they scaled it back because they didn't think it'd be realistic.
Yeah, exactly.
With how much
exactly
they've done
right. Yeah, exactly right. And that's the thing. I kind of like that this is so realistic. I think it fits Craig's Bond very well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you a little bit on that. In that, I do like the realism.
But I think it was actually Bolivia.
Was it in Bolivia that it was the bit that was
had
actually
the election problems and because they had some serious problems with their water supply. So I think it was
yeah. Which fair play, actually going down or something. That's
very on the nose.
Yeah, that's realistic. I think when you're talking a Bond film, I think if you don't have and I'm not saying I don't want it to go down the one man saves the world route because that's a different route which you do go down, and it's a bit of a trope of that.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the realistic plot, but I don't know. I feel like it needs to be somewhat bigger than just one group profiteering off one nation. Whereas, and I keep coming back to Casino Royale because Le Chiffre, was like if you think about the plot of Casino Royale, it's like we've got to stop a accountant winning lots of money to then basically fund
terrorism. Yeah,
terrorism.
Yeah.
But even that is of a scale that is a bit more impactful than just impacting.
I think a lot of that has to do with Mads Mikkelsen's fucking amazing charisma. Though he's such
generally he's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah,
but
he's such a menacing villain.
It would have been nice. No, it wouldn't have really worked, but it would have been nice if you could carry on. If Mads Mikkelsen wasn't even Le Chiffre, but he was a bigger thing that could carry on a little bit more.
Yeah, he's fantastic, Mads Mikkelsen. I think I don't see him as terribly different. I think if you are, yes, you're directly funding terrorism, Le Chiffre, but Green Planet in Quantum of Solace are literally funding a coup to overthrow a government. The scale comes from you as a viewer going, yes, this is just one country.
But how?
But they're going to do this all over the world.
Yeah.
Now, I will sort of slightly agree with you in changes a little bit and how they set up that shadowy organisation and the scale of it. But, I kind of like that this is a very tangible threat. I think they execute it quite well. And increasingly, as I look through my notes as well, I do think there is enough sort of levity to keep this sort of
more than you're. I agree.
I agree. So I mean, I've got. I talked about the Tosca set piece in production, but I do like again his sort of fuck it and see. Because he goes in there and just goes, "Can I make a suggestion?"
Yes.
He just throws that out, but he doesn't know that's going to pan out. And then they all reveal themselves.
Move themselves. They take the pictures
and
with the spy camera.
Yeah,
we'll come back to that.
Thanks, thank you very much. Just yeah, thanks for that. And what is it? I think his line is, oh no, it's just thank you. He goes, thank you. It's like, where are you going then? And it's brilliant. That it's like it's silly, but it's brilliant. And then it brings us back down to earth because we go. He ends up killing that bodyguard. Well, he doesn't kill him. Dominic Green kills him, but he ends up throwing that bodyguard off the roof. And we've already seen the CIA are dirty, but then we get the link back to the British government, and you're like, everybody's in this.
It's basically like there's no black and white
which is exactly how it works. It's like, it's really cool.
I did like all of that side of things.
Yeah. He then gets cut off, which is where we then go to seek Mathis out. We get all the shots of his villa.
How did he get to Mathis? That's what I want to know.
Well, he hired a boat, or maybe he stole a boat. Maybe he stole a boat. But that
doesn't matter.
That's a classic bit of spycraft, though, because what he's done then is like, I'm off grid. I've been cut off. So what do I do now? I open the little black book.
Yeah. I
go to my contacts and I go, you need to help us with this. And
brilliant. I love bringing in the Mathis. Brilliant connection to the thing. Considering he's absolutely fucked him over in Casino Royale as well and got him completely wrong. And that whole scene we've talked about, which is, I think, brilliantly played with the subtitles.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Oh, you're going to serve him expensive wine? You don't buy expensive wine. It's cheap wine.
Don't work on your tan, Gemma.
I thought it was great.
It was very good.
A couple of other plot points, and it's not really plot, but just interesting notes. So, we got Mr. White.
Yeah.
We got Dominic Green. We've got Slate.
See where you're going.
Yeah. Is there a colours link here that they just kind of put out there but don't really explore any further? Or is it just coincidence that it's like white, green, slate?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I felt like they were setting something up and it was going to be like,
this is where I don't know enough about the books. Because are those out the books, those characters?
No, I don't know. But I don't know if there was like, there's a mysterious organisation called Rainbow.
Did you watch this with Theo?
No. Oh. What did I watch this with Theo?
I thought you watched with Theo, sorry.
No. No, I try not to stick to Bond film. No.
It's only a 12, this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Still a bit early I think. You wouldn't get the innuendo.
You don't need to get the innuendo.
There's not much innuendo.
When I went to watch The World Is Not Enough at the cinema, I thought Christmas only comes once a year. I only laughed because everybody else laughed.
Such a good line, though.
I had no idea what they're talking about.
No, yeah.
Still don't, etc., etc. But yeah, I had no idea. I was just...
Christmas does only come once a year. What do you mean?
Christmas does only come once a year. What's going on?
That was such a Moore line, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So Roger Moore.
Yeah.
Anyway. Couple of other pieces. So, plane scene, with the dogfight. Plane starts going down, engines start going, dials start going. You know what he didn't do?
Go on.
What doesn't he do? What does everyone do when a plane starts crashing?
Tapping buttons.
Tap the fuel gauge. Tap the fuel gauge. He didn't do it.
No.
It's like he is a cut above.
Knows his shit.
Yeah, he knows. And then the other thing I wanted to call out was the return of Universal Exports.
Yeah. Where were they in? I feel like
quite a few. So I think it's in a Dalton thing where he gives a card with Universal Exports. There's a Moore film where it's on the side of that helicopter, that remote control helicopter thing, Universal Exports. So I quite like the continuation of just like, this is a really shit cover story for James Bond. Yeah. Just like, yes, Universal Exports, which is the most generic name for literally any company in the world.
A hair away from Acme.
Exactly. So I do like when they throw these little things in. But yeah, I don't know if I've got anything else on plot, Carl.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my overall thing is, I've got down here, it's 50 minutes, which is halfway through the film, before it finally slows down and settles in. But because it's only an hour 40, it really isn't long until we then pick up basically the third act in chasing down and getting to the hotel in the desert, which we then blow up. And then, of course, we've got 10 minutes after that.
And I'm not a big fan. This is going to sound strangely racist. I don't like deserts.
Yeah.
As a
who are they full of? Which nationality would you like to?
I don't know, but let's not go there. But as a place to film and what looks good, desert's pretty shit. It's basically just a blank thing.
Yeah, but then
they have this building
haze in front.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of that going on. So like having just like this, seems to be just one building in the middle of a desert. In terms of
the most flammable hotel in the world.
It's just got fuel cells everywhere.
Yeah,
ready to shoot or whatever.
I mean, to be fair, they probably didn't expect people to be shooting off.
It's probably not built into the risk assessment.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't have thought so, would you?
No. But even so, I don't know. It wasn't like a big impressive climax and stuff. It was very much I liked the touch of the link back to the flames and that she was in a fire and stuff, and he was like consoling her and about to shoot her in the head.
Yeah.
Nice touch. I'd like to say that I would do that for you as well, Carl. I would shoot you in the head if you came across anything scary.
No, thanks, mate.
That's fine. But generally, as like an ending to a set piece, it was a bit of a letdown. And because I didn't really care whether she killed General or whatever, I did like the driving him out into the desert and giving him some oil and going like, see you later.
Yeah, because he doesn't even. I mean, we see a glimpse of this later when he's tracking down Vesper's boyfriend.
Yeah,
he's basically showing some restraint and being like, "I can't really take you in at this point. I could kill you, but no. Tell you what,
this will kill you.
Off
just
you go.
Indirectly. Thank you. Yeah,
it's kind of cold as well at the same time. It's quite cool.
Yeah, and I did like that they ended and brought it back around, as I've already said, with Vesper's boyfriend, not boyfriend,
well, ex.
Yeah, and the fact that he's essentially doing this as a routine. For it, I did like that,
which really helps tie up that whole
It really
thread.
did tie it up as well. Yeah, it was nice, and you could always say that it gave him a quantum of solace.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, very good. Yeah, there you go. It does make sense.
I'm telling you. I came round on the title.
Do you think that's what they were going for?
Honestly, I don't know, but it fucking works.
It does work, actually. Yeah.
Just that ending does give him a quantum of solace.
Yeah, it gives him a quantum leap of solace.
Not quantum of solace. It gives him a quantum of solace.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're going
that's
for,
the error, isn't it? It should have been a quantum,
it's a quantum of solace. Like A View to a Kill.
Adam Buxton, he says a quantum of solace.
It's a quantum of solace. It doesn't make sense, quantum of solace. A quantum of solace sounds just as good.
Yeah.
Sounds fine. A quantum of solace. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, a quantum of solace. Yeah. So that's what it should be. Anyway.
All right. Well, I liked all that stuff as well, the way they wrapped that up. I sort of touched on this earlier. But the other story, Dominic Green, it was he ends up needing to go save Camille.
I like your overpronunciation of the name. Well done.
Camille?
Yeah.
Yeah? How would you say it?
Camille.
You'd say Camille?
Yeah.
Nobody in the film says Camille.
No, I know.
But you'd say Camille.
No, I would, yeah.
Don't you speak a bit of French?
Oh, oui.
Okay, very good. Or as the French would say, très bueno, Rodney. I don't know. Is that in Only Fools? Okay. So I sort of, I guess that's a bit of a crossing of the streams at that point, because Dominic Green is saying like, we know he can't hold on to a girl because we sort of know all about him, and he has to sort of go save her because that's his thing and that's what he's wedded to, and because a real professional at that point would just be like, oh, fuck it, she'll
later.
See you later. So, what did you? I'm backtracking a bit here, but it's one note we haven't touched on.
Okay.
Again, it's a really simple plot, but I suppose it is the reveal in our sort of central plot, which is realizing they're not after the oil and they're after the water instead.
Yeah. It was
entirely believable.
It was fine. Like it was a nice little bit of misdirection. It wasn't like a
because they kind of set that up through the thing. Like it's
CIA. Essentially, that's what they're after, right? That's why they're supporting it, because they get a cut of the oil and there's no oil. And then he even says to M, doesn't he? Like, after they've discovered it, it's like, oh, you're just after the oil. Well, there isn't fucking any oil.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's I say like the plot on its own, it's fine in terms of how it is. I think I'll come on to this into the changes. How I think they could have made it a bit more complex and and deep. Deep is the wrong word. More complex in a way to make it a bit more satisfying. But yeah, I mean, I think it was a good little mini switcher. It would have been really fucking dull if it was oil. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Do you want to play a third and final game, Carl?
Fucking love to play a game.
All right, it's a little game I like to call Spot the Plot.
Hang on a minute, though. I'm dry.
Okay, go on. Reveal, that's not right. Unveil the sixth ale.
Now, you remember Mr. Big? Mr. Big Drop?
I mean, no, but yes.
Ah, yeah, but he doesn't just play one character, does he?
Does he not?
Is
he one of the...
this
is Kananga.
Yeah, Kananga.
Yeah, Kananga, sorry. My bad. Kananga. You haven't got a Kananga beer.
No, I've just got another Mr. Big.
Oh, okay.
This is the Pine Trail Pale Ale.
I'm quite liking the stout, to be fair. Pretty good. I would drink this.
No,
if I wasn't.
This is the last overtly Bond themed ale we've got.
Overtly?
What do you mean, Mr. Big? Mr. Big Drop?
Okay.
Yeah. What's going on?
I think Pine Trail. They filed a trail somewhere.
Yeah, whatever. But I have got another beer which I know you like, and I can tenuously link to this film.
Okay.
So,
I mean, is it alcohol free?
No.
Can we skip this one and go to...
Yeah, we can skip this one. Right, okay, yeah. Fuck Kananga.
I mean, I like it, but I'm going from a alcohol-free stout. I feel like I need a little pick-me-up. What we got? Roosters.
Yeah.
Baby-faced.
Baby-faced assassin.
Tropical or normal?
No, just the normal one.
Ooh.
I mean, what better way to sum up Camille in this film? Baby-faced assassin.
It's certainly not fucking Bond, is it?
Yeah. Baby-faced assassin, yeah.
If Daniel Craig was a baby-faced assassin, there's fugly baby.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Oh,
she's pretty, though.
She's pretty.
She's cute.
Yeah.
Little, I don't know, childish is the wrong word, but she's got that
please, it really is a wrong word, Carl. If you're going, she's pretty, she's cute, childlike.
Yeah, I'm not trying to fuck her.
Well.
I mean, I would. Anyway, right.
Good stuff. Right, you ready for your game, you big pedo?
Yes.
All right, so the third and final game, Spot the Plot. Okay, so I will read a short plot synopsis of a Bond film, and you have to identify which one it is.
Oh, God.
Okay? So there is one for each Bond. So remember this. So if you're not sure, skip it. We can come back to it later, okay?
Right, yeah.
So don't get carried
Keep me
away.
powder dry. Keep me powder dry.
Indeed. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
I put the answer in bold. I almost just flat read
don't
the
say
answer.
that.
Read the answer straight away then. That wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Okay. James Bond is sent to stop a diabolically brilliant heroin magnate armed with a complex organisation and a reliable psychic tarot card reader.
Oh, that's Live and Let Die.
It is Live and Let Die. Roger Moore. Well done.
You even did that a bit like Roger Moore.
Roger Moore.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Okay, don't read
Looking
the
forward to you, Sean Connery.
Oh. James Bond and the Japanese Secret Service must find and stop the true culprit of a series of space hijackings before war is provoked between Russia and the United States. And it is, sorry?
She only lived twice.
And that's played by...
Sean Connery, of course.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
You only live twice.
Yeah, Sean.
Very good. 2 out of 2. Well done. James Bond.
In the film when they go, there's just one problem. I don't look Japanese.
Oh, I fucking Googled this shit because I remember that. Yeah. And the Japanese Bond.
I don't look Middle Eastern.
Couldn't make that nowadays,
could
you?
You could not.
Oh no. So to make him Japanese, they essentially made his eyebrows a little bit bigger and cut his hair a bit shit.
Yeah.
That was it.
Japanese girls taste different.
He doesn't say that.
He does.
Oh,
he does. He says, yeah. And she goes, oh, you like better?
Oh, no.
Oh, I didn't say better, just different. That's what he says. I'm serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
I might have to rewatch this
and then Tanaka, when he's giving him the wife, he goes, she has a face like a pig. Seriously.
Wow. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
James Bond is sent to investigate a KGB policy to kill all enemy spies and uncover an arms deal that potentially has major global implications.
Oh, no.
Remember, you can skip if you need to just listen to the others.
Give me it again.
James Bond is sent to investigate a KGB policy to kill all enemy spies and uncovers an arms deal that potentially has major global ramifications.
Okay. All right. I'll skip that one.
Okay, you're skipping that one. Okay, we're coming back to a cryptic message from James
Oh,
Bond.
hang on a minute. No, I've already done Connery.
You've already done more
We've
Connery.
already done more.
Yep.
All right. So
So you're narrowing it down.
You
You can still skip it. It's fine. You can come back.
Yeah, okay.
Coming back to C.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
So, a cryptic message from James Bond's past sent him on a trail to uncover the existence of a sinister organization named Spectre. With a new threat dawning, Bond learns the terrible truth about the author of all his pain
For
in his
God's
most
sake.
recent missions.
And the author of all your pain, James. Spectre, yeah.
It is Spectre. Yeah. So that is played by
Oh, I was got the Christoph Waltz, but yeah, Danny Craig.
Danny Craig,
Danny
yeah.
Craig, yeah.
Okay. So, British agent James Bond goes undercover to pursue the villainous Ernst Stavro Blofeld, who is planning to hold the world to ransom.
Well, that must be on Her Majesty's Secret Service, so that's Lazenby.
Very good. Like, that is pretty generic.
So that leaves us with Living Daylights, Timothy Dalton.
Oh, very good. So, last one. This for 100%. Don't let yourself down.
Yeah, I've done them all.
No, there's one more.
All right.
You always forget him.
Yeah, I always forget him.
Why do you hate
Come
him?
on, which
Why
is it?
do you hate
Yeah,
him?
I don't know. He's
Okay.
just Bond by the numbers, and I love Bond by the numbers. I
Right.
just don't love Pierce
You'll
Brosnan.
get this one. James Bond is sent to investigate the connection between a North Korean terrorist and
Oh,
a
Die
diamond
Another Day.
mogul.
Yeah.
Well done. Look at that. Fanboy.
Yes,
Right there.
yes.
You passed the test. You are a fanboy. All right. So a little bonus section on discussion of gadgets across the James Bond films. So just a bit of clarification, Carl. Are we talking Bond gadgets? Are we talking villain gadgets? Are we talking either or?
Oh, that's interesting. Let me have a quick scan and see what I've made. I think I've just gone Bond gadgets.
Q gadgets.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have.
In which case, I've done both. So can I just call out some of the villain gadgets first? So Dagger Shoe from Russia with Love.
Now the thing is, you know what I just said? Load of shit, right? Because not only have I got the From Russia with Love
It's
Dagger
like
Shoe,
me with the last one.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, nothing from Daniel Craig. Oh,
Yeah.
apart from that. Yeah, that's
I've also
number
got
three,
the Man with the Golden Gun as well. So the Dagger Shoe, very cool though.
So, in summary, you've done a mixture of for your top three.
I've done a mixture.
Okay, good. All right. I don't know where to go from here then.
Well, the Dagger Shoe, we're on it.
Right, yeah, so Dagger Shoe.
From Russia with Love.
So I've done two top threes. I'm going to do a villain top three and I'll do a Bond top
Okay,
three.
good
Is that
stuff.
okay?
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay. I haven't got these in order. They're just three. Okay. Because I can't be asked. But villain, Dagger Shoe.
Yeah.
Russian with Love. I love it. I want one. Why isn't it? It would be great use just to sometimes just get a little dagger out the front of your shoe and toe poke someone. Perfect.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Odd Jobs hat in Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Mental. Brilliant. Love it. How is that a thing? I mean, it would be pretty heavy, I imagine. Made out of. What do you reckon it's made out of?
Well, no, hang on though, because like samurai swords, which are super
Oh,
sharp,
yeah, good
they're
point.
not.
Light,
they're
light.
not like they're light, aren't they?
So do you think it's made of that sort of like?
Well, he looks like that, doesn't he? So that's what they'd be going for.
Sorry, what?
He's Japanese, isn't he?
He looks like that.
Odd Job, he's Japanese.
Oh,
he's not actually the actor. Isn't the actor like?
I don't think
is
he's
he,
Japanese. Is
No, is he Hawaiian or something? Like that?
Yeah, he definitely doesn't look Japanese.
But I think Odd Job's supposed to be Japanese, though, isn't he?
Is he?
Let's have a look.
Wow.
See if
Okay,
we
well, look at that.
see if we can back out of this racist cul-de-sac.
Oh yeah, unlikely. I'll probably just double down. Let's face it.
Yeah.
The other one was the Golden Gun from the Man with the Golden Gun.
Yeah.
and because I have a weakness for things that can be assembled from other things.
He's Korean. That's not the same.
That is not the same.
Let the record show I recognise that is not the same.
They are different. Agreed.
They? Ooh.
They is fine.
yeah. No, they is fine. Or she.
Oh Christ. So the golden gun, because I have a weakness for things that can be made out of other things.
Yeah.
So the golden gun is made of like.
Still don't be brave enough. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
What?
No? Is that what you're saying?
What? Does this we get back to the broom?
Yeah, yeah.
So the golden gun is made out of like what? A cigarette.
A pen, yeah, a cigarette,
a cigarette
lighter.
case, and a case and a thing. Which I like all these sort of things where you can make things from other things. So that's good.
It's very cool. You used to be able to buy, I think you still can actually, you used to be able to buy James Bond gadgets as like toys and stuff. And that would be one of the ones that you could have bought and then, assemble yourself.
Cool.
Yeah.
I had, when I was probably about Theo's age, like 7 or 8, a secret agent briefcase.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And in said briefcase was a packet of cigarettes.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. For every 6-year-old wants.
Yeah. Brilliant. But which fired little bullets, little plastic bullets out of it. So you could load a bullet, had a little elastic band to a spring, and you could fire these bullets out of the cigarette case. It has handcuffs, obviously. It has a gun. And it had... What else did it have? I can't remember. But, so this was when I was 7. So that was 32 years ago.
Yeah.
When we go to my parents, Theo gets that. The first thing he goes to when he gets there is like, I'm getting the secret agent case out. This is amazing. I'm going to shoot. I'm basically going to handcuff you to something. It's like, great. I'm going to shoot you with a cigarette.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then I'm going to get the gun and then I'm going to go around and shoot. It's
That's so very cool.
It's just it's every little boy's dream.
It is so
girl's
cool.
dream, whatever.
Yeah, or she. Yeah, because which film is it they have the rocket launching cigarette? It's You Only Live Twice. It's Tanaka gives him it. Yeah, just very, very, very cool.
My parents also love it because all of the grandkids have the same idea. So basically they spend most of the weekend sat on a step, handcuffed to a stool.
Yeah. You played yourself, kids.
Well, this is fun.
yeah.
Right, Carl, what have you got?
Well, I'll tell you what I've got is Harold Sakata, or Toshiyuki Sakata, who is an American Olympic weightlifter.
Okay.
Was a film actor of Japanese descent, and he played Odd Job.
Oh, so Odd Job was Korean but played by a Japanese guy?
Yes.
Fucking hell.
So I wasn't racist, probably.
No, but they probably were.
Yeah, that probably didn't go down too well, did it?
No, that's not good, is it?
Yeah. Anyway.
There's quite a few Korean people in the world that you could get.
Different times.
Different times, indeed. Go on.
Well, I've got loads of honourable mentions in this.
Okay, go on.
There are other podcasts, better podcasts than ours, devoted to James Bond, that will go through these and they'll be able to tell you the better history of them and just how many of them intelligence agencies and militaries contacted the producers after and went, is that real?
That's worrying.
Can we have that?
That's worrying.
Yeah, well, it happened more than once. I can't do that.
No.
I can tell you for my number 3, which was the Thunderball underwater breathing apparatus that the US military got in contact and were like, how'd you do that then? But the little mouthpiece. Gave you 4 minutes.
They
underwater.
do those in. Didn't that appear in a Brosnan film as well? Like you just put a little mouthpiece thing in and you can breathe. I feel like that was in Die Another Day, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
Similar sort of thing.
Yeah. So
was it a real thing?
No, it wasn't a real thing. No. I always remember that bit. It's a really understated gadget, but I always remembered that as being like this cool, sleek little gadget that you could just suddenly breathe underwater.
Yeah,
and just open up.
That's amazing.
Really, really cool.
They have that in Star Wars Episode 1 as well.
Episode 1.
Phantom Menace.
Episode 1 minus
you've not
3.
Seen.
Yeah.
Yes.
1 minus 3.
1 plus 3. No, 1.
It's minus. Prequels,
yeah,
mate.
Okay, yeah. 3, 4 minus 1.
Call yourself a Star Wars fan.
1. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Some of the ones we've touched on in set pieces, but the fantastic gadgets, the Thunderbolt jetpack, You Only Live Twice, the little Nelly, the gyrocopter, amazing. The Spy Who Loved Me, the underwater lotus.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Really,
Underwater cars. I mean, come on.
Really went underwater. I mean,
that was pretty legit, wasn't it?
Well, they've been slightly liberal because it was a very separate thing where you mocked it up. They were sat in there, and I think you can see this a little bit in the film. There's a shot where you can see they're all sat in there in scuba suits, driving it around.
Still cool.
Very, very cool.
Anything amphibious, sign me up.
It's that thing of like, almost like the dual purpose thing, like you're saying about the gun. Like, it looks like this, but it can also do this.
Yep.
It's very, very cool. Live and Let Die, he had his Rolex Submariner, which had a magnet in it, which he ended up deflecting a bullet with, but also the circular saw on the bezel.
I love the watch. Anything with a watch.
And that's come back in previous subsequent films. Very good. Yeah, GoldenEye's watch was good.
Yeah, that's in
the
my top
laser
three.
and the mind timing thing,
and I love that Alec Trevelyan basically goes like, an updated model. Is it still this one?
Yeah,
just like undoes the minds being triggered. Just like, oh, that's it. Fair enough.
Yeah, he's a good villain. That's a good film.
He's good.
The World Is Not Enough's got some good stuff in it.
Oh, that's in my top three.
X-Ray Specs.
Yes.
Which every boy wanted.
Yes.
And they
just
do
selectively X-ray.
They do titillate that very want as well in the film because it's like, yeah, look, we can see her pants. We see her pants. She's wearing suspenders. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. But the avalanche jacket is cool.
Oh, with the
yeah. And I think that
sound effects for you there, listeners.
I think that's real to a degree.
That is. I've seen that. That's a thing, right? Yeah.
I don't know if it's used to like break falls, but it's certainly used to protect like from snowfalls and that sort of stuff. That's all good. GoldenEye's a good one. The piton belt.
Yes. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Very Star Wars again, just to get the old grapple thing and swing across the chasm.
And they have a couple of early efforts with the piton guns and stuff as well. But no, my number three.
I do like a piton thing. You know, anything where you're firing, whether this be Batman, whether this be Bond.
Yeah,
you fire a grapple hook of some description.
Yeah, it's always very cool. Very cool. No, so my number three, we've touched on the Thunderbolt underwater breathing. Did you do your number three?
My number three was the GoldenEye watch with a laser.
Yeah, it's very good. Also, wicked in the game.
Yes, in that scene in the train, right? Where you
when you burn off the hatch to get out. Yeah. My number two is a Pierce Brosnan film. Tomorrow Never Dies.
Okay.
The remote control BMW.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I remember really loving that one.
And the way they filmed that was they sort of like they knocked out the seats and they put a driving position in for the stunt driver to be like. I can't remember if he must have been driving it on the screen because he must have been able to see where he was going, but like obviously can't see out the windscreen. Really, really cool. A great sequence, but yeah, love that. What's your number two?
I've seen it before where they've done those things where essentially the driver has been like in the same outfit as a seat.
Oh, really?
So essentially they're there, but it's just like they can easily blank them out because they're just camouflaged in it. But yeah, I think this one was like remotely done by a screen, as you say. Was that on a mobile phone, Tomorrow Never Dies, that he was controlling?
Yeah, he was doing it on a trackpad on the mobile phone.
And this is like pre-smartphone and things like where you have that technology, you're like, fucking wow.
Well, this was the Bond thing, right? They've gone, we see where technology's trending, so let's take that on 5 degrees.
Yeah. And this is why now you struggle to do anything phone-based.
Yes, because everything's possible. It's like...
Or if not possible, just like, it probably exists. Yeah.
Remember there's a scene in, it's either Dr. Noah from Russia with Love, I can't remember, and he has a wireless pager.
Yes. Right? Yes. I rewatched that one. That was it was like a little ticker tape.
No, that's different. But
different one.
Same sort of principle.
Oh no, you're not thinking about.
No, but he's literally just in the field. He's laying down with Sylvia Trench. So I think it must be From Russia with Love. And he literally just gets a page. So I've got to go back to the office and all the rest of it. We take that completely for granted because it's like, well, okay, sure.
Text.
At the time, that was like, what? That's not. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. You know, other stuff like stuff that's possible, but Bond world shrinks it down to miniature.
Yeah.
We get like ring cameras.
Yeah.
He wears a ring camera. I can't remember which film that was. I don't ever wrote it down. Back then, you'd be like, that's ridiculous. Amazing. I love it. Now it's like, well, yes, of course. Yes. Actually, we have cameras a lot smaller than that.
Yeah.
Actually. So even the sort of the more everyday stuff, everyday is the wrong phrase, but even the more everyday stuff, they're still ahead of the trend. Obviously, we just don't appreciate it anymore. Yeah, so.
My number 2.
Yep.
X-ray glasses, Wild is Not Enough.
Yeah, very good, yeah.
Every boy's dream.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Or
100%.
girls.
Yeah, or she.
That's fine.
Yeah, I love pants.
I just love they were all packing as well in that casino.
Yes, they were.
Every single person had a gun on them.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Number one,
of course, the ladies had like a smaller caliber one for the lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fruit-based drink for the lady.
Yeah. Right. So I think we must have the same number one here.
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, go on.
Well, then you have missed out.
Yeah.
Very big one. From Goldfinger.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Go on.
I wonder what I've missed out then. The DB5.
You're just saying the whole car.
The whole car, right? Because it had a sat-nav in it. A sat-nav wasn't even in an imagination at that point. No, the sat-nav didn't work, but they'd mocked it or whatever. The ejector seat, which is obviously a bit of fun. Bulletproof doors, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
The revolving number plates, always remember fondly.
Yeah.
They actually fitted the car, the real DB5, with all of the rockets and guns and flamethrower stuff. So the prop guys took that in. Obviously the guns didn't work, but the prop guys put that in and put, we'll press this button and these things will slide away and it'll come out and all the rest of it. It'll do it. Just an amazing piece of practical effects. And the DB5 is just the most iconic car in cinema history ever. Going back to Condor Man.
Yeah. Condor
Man very much goes for this sort of DB5 sort of gadgetry. And it's unironically cool, that film. Definitely watch it here. But yeah, the DB5 is my number one.
I stay clear of cars for gadgets for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, but that car is fucking laden.
Yeah, but I don't know. I kind of disconnected them from the thing.
Right, so what have I missed then? What's your number one?
Well, mine is... sounds shit now.
Is it the hooker pipe gun or something? Is it the hooker pipe gun?
No. So, in The Living Daylights, right? So
the cello case?
No. He's got a whistle-activated keychain thing, right? So, it has stun gas, depending on what you whistle. It explodes, depending on the tune that you do. And it's also a lock, and this is what I love, that does 90% of all locks in the world.
Yeah.
90%.
Yeah, it's good enough,
not
isn't it?
fucking 100%.
Yeah, no, it's what do you want?
1 out of 10, you're fucked.
Yeah.
But 9 out of 10.
I like those
golden.
odds, though, to be fair.
I like it, but I like the fact that you're just like, 90%.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because if it's like 93, it's too unrealistic.
Yeah, exactly. 92.8%. Yeah. I do, as I said, I have a weakness for things that turn into other things as well. So I want to shout out again.
So you like a key ring that's also a torch?
Oh,
have you seen this, love?
In License to Kill, the camera that turns into like a sniper rifle gun thing. Anything like that.
Yeah.
Love. One thing turns into another thing. All good. Good fun. Good. Okay, we move on to any changes. So this is a maximum of 3 changes that we would each make. Carl, how many changes do you have?
I've got 2.
2? Okay. I think I can push to 3. It feels like a one-upmanship. Really
yeah.
But there you go. Do you want to... I'll go first. If we've got 3. Okay. So I'm going to start at the top. The better edited action scenes. Like, it's just a necessary thing. I honestly think it would elevate this film like a decent amount just with that. Considering, as we said, how much action there is in the first 40 minutes of the movie. So, yeah, that's where I go start with.
Well, my number one, I completely agree. I've written fewer cuts, blocking, man, blocking. You mentioned blocking the other day, and you said that you might use some words that might sound like you know what you're going about. Do you want to explain what blocking is?
I don't think I use blocking.
You did. You said it in a pod recently.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what blocking is really. I think it's where they basically map out all the camera angles and positions and stuff before they film it, right?
Exactly that. So it's as we move the camera, where are the characters? Where are the
So you're not
props?
blocking each other and all of that stuff.
Yeah. How does this sort of look? And I think it's a lot easier to not get bogged down with any of that stuff
And just cut
and
to
just
the
cut
bits that look
and
the best
shoot
at the
it
time.
from a different angle and all the rest of it. So, and I flip that around as well to something I said earlier about how with CGI or whatever you can, you know, spin your background round and have your camera swoosh, all the rest of it. You don't have to concern yourself with that either. You just go, well, we'll just put it all in. So
Yeah.
it's a real art, and I agree. I think they get that right because there's a ton of good stuff in this film. They'll really elevate.
Agreed. Number 2 for me is, and we talked about this with the length of it. So it's coming in the shortest Bond film, I think we said. And I think there's something to be said about actually, and this may come in with the writer's strike thing, that if they actually had writers on set that could develop this, is making it a little bit more complex. I like the fact that they've got the dual side of things going on. They've got the general nefarious plot from a bad guy thing. They've got the kind of revenge angle. I feel like there could have been a better journey to get to the bad guy, where there was a few more twists and turns to get there that might have made it, I don't want to say like packed it out in terms
Yeah,
of,
because it's already packed. Yeah.
yeah, but given it a little bit more depth in that angle that might have helped it.
Let me jump in here because we're on a very similar page. I said it probably does need to be a little longer. A bit of room to breathe can be a good thing. And I think it comes down to... I mean, I like the plot. I think it's straightforward. It's devoid of holes, not something you can usually say. And not something you usually say about a Bond film either, because, you know, they're leaning into what's cool and fun instead of good. I like the plot, but can it take a little more time to make it land a bit more and dangle a few more things, tease a few more things, flesh out little ideas here and there? I don't know that it needs more twists. I think that's maybe where we slightly differ. But I think you could definitely flesh it out a bit, and the film would benefit from being a little longer.
I guess just to clarify my thing, like it's very clear and linear early on. It's like it's Dominic Green. It's Dominic Green. It's Dominic Green. It's Dominic Green, and that is the sole focus. I think that's fairly common with a lot of Bond movies. They don't tend to misdirect too much in that terms. I feel like if he was one person on a journey to a bigger bad. But then maybe that would be a bit silly because you've got Mr. White and then you've got him.
No, but I feel there's a couple of ways that more time benefits it, and it's for both of those stories that I mentioned earlier. Because one is the Mr. White and indeed Dominic Green's management side of things, which is, can we tease and flesh out what is ultimately Spectre a bit more?
Yeah.
And you talked about the scale and how they're funding a coup and extorting a government feeds into the wider impact of stuff. That's where Spectre comes in, right? The other side is...
alluding to that a bit more, maybe, as well.
Yeah, 100%.
This is just one little cog in a massive wheel of...
100%. Can we just flesh that a bit out a bit more? The other side of it is the standalone plot, the Dominic Green quest for, ultimately, water, and then how our characters fit into that. You mentioned Camille. Well, how do we get to care about her backstory a bit more? Can we flesh that out a bit? We don't really need to change the beats of the plot because I think they're fairly tight and they're pretty effective. But can we just give a little bit here and flesh that out a bit and, you know, make that land a bit more and make us care about the characters? I think a bit of time serves both of these stories well.
Agreed. Number 3, it's a simple one. I need a goon. I need a henchman.
Yeah, you need a big hard bastard, don't you?
Yeah, if you got the soft thing, they got away with it in Casino Royale because they didn't really have that. They didn't really have the henchman, the goon in that.
No, that's true.
For some reason, it didn't feel like a.
There's a lot more going on in Casino Royale, though.
Where I feel like he needed it, and Elvis wasn't really providing it with his dodgy wig. No. He was just someone with something that had a bit of an angle, and I think it's because like Sheaf had the scar and the eye thing. Because Dominic Green doesn't have anything, you need the henchman with something. You need something with his like, oh yeah, he's fucking been made of steel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. That's my thought. This is why you're wrong. So this is our closing statement from each of us. And before I get to my closing statement, Carl, I just want to reiterate the fact of why Quantum of Solace is actually a really good title.
Hey,
right.
I like this.
Quantum of Solace, a little or no consolation for what's happened. After the betrayal by Vesper and the vengeance he has found, a little or small piece of consolation or a quantum of solace that he has found. He wrapped it all up in a little bow with that. That's why I think it should be a quantum of solace, even though it doesn't follow the Bond format apart from a view to a kill. So I think that's...
I know that... Is that your entire closing statement?
No. I've got a little
okay, let me jump in. I know this is... I'm supposed to be convincing you why this is good. I'd sort of dismiss this idea, your quantum of solace thing, as just a bit of a joke. But you are completely right. It does make perfect sense that he has found a quantum of solace. The very end scene with M.
It's
and
definitely that, right?
It must be, right?
It's all about that.
It must be.
You wouldn't have come up with that title without that scene.
Yeah, it must be.
It doesn't make any sense.
And that completely rounds our thread out from Casino Royale all the way to the end. So yeah, I'm all on board. Well done, you've movied my needle.
From where? To where? I don't really understand, but yeah, good.
Yeah, good. Right, go on, finish.
So I think in general, for me, this is one, not as bad as I remember it. I definitely remember it. And I think this comes back to exactly what you said with the thread of the Daniel Craig movies, where if you watch them in isolation 4 years apart, they are much less effective than if you're watching them closer together. So I don't think this is as bad as it's made out to be. As a standalone movie, sure, it probably has quite a few problems from that perspective. But I think this is more of a victim of the quality of Casino Royale and less the victim of a James Bond movie, if you in comparison to other James Bond movies, as you would have it. So there are problems. I've highlighted those. But I don't know. I think it's got a bit of a tough rap.
Let me jump in. All of the stuff about that. I do think it's a really good companion piece, and through that lens, like, because I know we've just said about changes. Like, if you want to make this better as a standalone, it would benefit from being a bit longer and fleshing out the rest of it. But as it is short. It works very, very well if you watch this after Casino Royale. It's a bit like, when you like Christmas dinner, right? Christmas Day.
Yeah.
You sit down. It's a big meal.
Big thing.
Yeah, lovely. I mean, I don't know about you, but Christmas dinner's got to be my favourite meal.
You know what I almost like more than Christmas dinner?
Go on.
The leftovers the next day.
Right. What I'm saying is, I don't know if I'm going full leftovers, right? But I'm going. What I'm saying, your Christmas dinner, you sat there, because this is how I watched Quantum of Solace last year. I'm sat there after my Christmas dinner of Casino Royale. I'm feeling full and satisfied. Right? I'm like, I want more, but I couldn't. Right? Hello, little pig in blanket left there. Pop that in. I couldn't manage a full Christmas. But this pig in blanket's lovely. Just carry that. Lovely. It's like not a moose bouche, because that's before, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, no, lovely. It's a really good companion piece. And there's plenty of good stuff on its own merits. We've spoken about the levity, and I think the plot is pretty decent. But you watch them together, I really like it. I think it's great fun.
So, Carl, the question: have our needles moved?
Well, I mean, you haven't moved my needle, have you? That's ridiculous.
I couldn't really. Yeah, I think I'd struggle.
It's not coming down.
No. But yeah, I think my needle has moved, right? I think there is a lot more to like in this than I initially remembered. And watching it back, there was one. It's a lot less moody than what it's made out to be.
I've got to share that because I am somebody who shares the frustration with Craig's arc and the moodiness. And I have got to say, watching this, it isn't as prevalent in this one at all.
No, I had the impression that this was a grumpy, heartbroken Bond on a rampage, and it's not necessarily 100% all of that.
No, it's not. No.
So yeah, there's good moments of levity. It's definitely not a bad movie. Yes, the editing of the action is awful.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think if you fix that, genuinely,
It's up there, isn't it?
I reckon it would push up there and be at least a companion piece to Casino Royale, and it wouldn't be seen as this fucking ugly sister of it at all. So yeah, I'm moving.
How far are you going? How far are you going?
It might be a.
You're going soft light? I think we've got soft light.
I think it might be
soft light, which isn't allowed, so it's a like.
I think I think I might be moving from a don't like, and I think this is the first time this has happened, Carl.
Yes, I think.
I think we've only ever moved 1 degree. I think this might be 2 degrees that we are moving. I think I might like it, under the caveat that it's a 2-parter as part of Casino Royale.
Yes, and
maybe even seen as a 5-parter as part of 5.
And I did exactly the same with Skyfall. I moved from a don't like to I quite like that when I rewatched it, because I rewatched it in this sequence of those 3. So
good stuff.
Yeah.
There we go. A first. All right, we move to the data section. So our final section where we look at some of the ratings and we pick our best things about it. So first off, IMDb rating, Carl, 6.5. What are we thinking about
that? Fair.
Yeah.
But not in terms of how people actually rate stuff, because they probably think they're giving it a right shoe-in.
Yeah.
But no, fine.
And I think if you look at that in the rating, we did the little game earlier in terms of the ratings of the Bond movies. It's all around the early 7s, around the sort of late 6s. So it's not miles behind other ones that you would maybe think. So
yeah.
Letterboxd 2.8.
That's
quite low. Yeah. Metascore 58. So a little bit more aligned with the Letterboxd there. What are you giving it, Carl?
So I've given this a 3.5. Mm-hmm. I do think I've possibly underscored a lot of my Bond stuff. I might, this time round, might I push that to a 4? Maybe.
Yeah. What was your highest rated Bond?
4, Casino Royale. So this is high. This is in my top 10.
Would you push Casino Royale up as well?
Yes. Yeah, Casino Royale. Casino Royale's not perfect. It can't go to 5. 4.5 is about right. And I love Casino Royale, but that's not what I'm doing. But it is very good. Probably a bit better than 4. Yeah, so 3.5, maybe 4. Honestly, not sure. I'll make a call when I log it.
So I'd initially put this as a 2.5. I think I'm definitely going to put it to a 3.
Yeah.
And I think that seems pretty. I feel pretty comfortable with that, because it definitely doesn't blow me away as much as Casino Royale, which I really do enjoy.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah.
And even on a GoldenEye scale as well, I think I'd maybe give GoldenEye a 4 in terms of just enjoyability factor. I'd fucking love it. This scores a little bit lower than that, but yeah, definitely moved up on that one. Nominations, not a right lot. Not a lot of love on the old noms. Sound.
Yes, the sound is good, mate. I'm telling you.
And special visual effect.
We wouldn't have seen him.
So, well done.
Or would have seen him very fleetingly.
Yeah. Was it that? Rewatchability.
That sounded like Pierce Brosnan then.
Please stop. You're making me choke. Like
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah. You're more believable than he is, let me tell you.
Rewatchability.
Well, I've got to say yes, because I watched it again last night.
Yeah, I'm thinking yes as well, actually.
Yeah.
But I think it has a double bill.
Well, no, here's where I'm slightly in disagreement with you because I watched it again last night. Now, granted, there's not a big gap in between when I watched Casino Royale and this, but I think the 1 hour 40 of this is much more accessible to go. We've got into that. But fancy Casino Royale. I haven't got 2.5 hours. I've got an hour and a half though.
You definitely haven't got enough time for Die Another Day. No, not Die Another Day. No Time to Die.
No Time to Die.
That's like 2 hour 45, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think it's a solid yes.
Yeah, I think yes. Best scene. I found this quite tricky. Not for like negative reasons as what we've seen before, but
I didn't because there's one scene that gave me absolute goosebumps, and even though it's got some terrible editing, the ending of that opening scene, Time to Get Out.
Oh, right.
It's so cool. I love it.
So I went for Bond and Felix in the bar.
Oh, it's a great scene. It's a great
and just
scene.
a little interplay thing, and then essentially like are they on their way? Yeah. How long have we got? About 30 seconds. Yeah. James, move your ass.
Yeah, move your ass.
So yeah,
it's a great
I picked
scene.
that one.
I mean, other honourable mention, the villa scene with Mathis.
Yeah,
it's a great scene.
that makes an appearance in the best quotes for sure. Okay, best quotes. I've got some honourable mentions, and then the one that I think hits home.
Well, my best quote, I haven't even written down.
No honourable mentions. What? Quote. You haven't even written down what your best quote?
I've written down my best quote. I've not even written down any honourable mentions.
Oh, right, sorry.
My best quote is, Hola, somos maestros en un sabático y nos ganamos la lotería. And I fucking love that it's in Spanish. I love that it's in Spanish because it's not long after the scene at Mathis's villa where we get that little thing where he's chucking along and understands Italian. And then immediately, it's really, really short. He's not just flexing, we're not staying here. He's then going, yes, I'm going to do it in Spanish. Absolutely love it. I think We Are Teachers on Sabbatical with Just on the Lottery does not hit half as hard if he says it in English. It's in Spanish. Love it.
You know what? That's weird you say that. Looking back, I heard that in English.
Yeah, because you're reading it as well.
Yeah. Didn't even twig that he said that.
Besides James Bond, which I would give to Connery and Dr. No, this is my favourite line in all of the Bond films.
Crazy.
Easily. Every time when I watch it, I'm like, yes, so good.
But I do agree with you with that in that he's an international man of mystery. He should be able to.
Him and Mike Myers.
He's going to be speaking. He's going to be speaking all language. He's going to be able to say basic things in every.
That's part of Bond's shtick, though. He's like, I take everything in my stride. I know this. I know that.
Exactly. That's really cool. Right. So some more honourable mentions. Right. We've already said the M1 when someone says we've got people everywhere.
Yes, good. It's good.
Very good. Felix Leiter, you know who Green is, and you want to put us in bed with him. And then Greg Green goes, yeah, you're right. We should just deal with nice people.
Yeah.
And then
which is also pretty much echoed by the minister.
Yes.
That M talks
he
to.
basically says the same thing.
It's like, it's not about choice. It's about,
Yeah. And then the Mathis scene, again, we've talked about. This man had me imprisoned and tortured. Do you want to siphon him fine wine? You only buy cheap wine. And since you were innocent, they bought you this villa. So really, you should own it.
Yeah, you should be thanking him or you won't.
Gemma, go work on your tab.
Yeah.
But the line that I thought was best was M, when they discover fields all covered with oil and drowned in oil. Look how well your charm works, James. They'll do anything for you, won't they? How many is it now?
Ooh, cold.
It's cold.
Cold.
And also true.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very true.
It's true.
Particularly on the Craig scene, he's basically just seen, that'll be his third in a row.
Yeah, he can't hold on to him.
Girls he slept with. Did you sleep with Vesper? Yeah, he would have slept with Vesper. Yeah,
did you sleep with Vesper?
Of course he would.
Like fucking rabbits, mate.
In the hospital. Yeah. As soon as his cock grew back.
Green, yeah, that's right. I think it was just his balls.
Yeah.
That's what Green was like, James, you lost another one.
So yeah, that's mine. I thought it was a good line.
Very good.
Favorite character? Tricky in a Bond film.
Oh,
What are you going
this. Well, I was going to say this is easy, but it's not.
Elvis's wig.
No. I mean, I've got 3, and I think I've got a top 3, so I can answer your question long-windedly.
No.
Mathis coming in at number 3.
I love Mathis. Yeah, I do.
Great character. Felix coming in at number 2.
Yeah.
I love the vibe those two have got going on. Fantastic. But it's M.
Yeah. I think I agree with you.
This is the film where Dame Judy absolutely fucking nails her M.
Yeah.
And it's the one everybody thinks about. Even though they don't realise it, they go, oh, she was a good M, wasn't she? Yeah, because of this film.
Yeah, it takes it. She definitely evolves from that first one. And from the
Brosnan. Yeah.
from the Brosnan ones as well. For sure. Kids are a little bit more to do. Tearjerker?
No.
No, I think it's a no.
Not this one.
No. Jerker?
I think we say
really,
very no.
Really not, no. For a Bond film as well, there's a bit of back. That's about it, right?
Yeah, they had no time for that sort of stuff, did they, for this
No
one?
time to...
Hmm?
Don't know.
You're trying to think of a rhyme for
With
masturbate
die.
there,
Something that rhymes with die,
yeah.
but also is masturbate, yeah. Anything?
I don't know, nothing off the top of my head, no.
Damn it.
All that
Hey!
Hey!
All right, which leads us to our top 3, where we look at our top 3 Bond movies.
Well, I mean, I've got a top 26. How many do you want?
Indeed.
No. So I will.
I will just caveat this with I have not watched all 25 recently. So
26. Thank you.
I've not watched all 25 recently, or 26. Definitely haven't seen that one either.
Have you never seen that one?
Maybe
It's worth a watch.
Maybe
It's worth it.
So I'm basing this based on the rewatches and what I remember. So
So I teased my top 10 in the Eris chat. So we'll give you my top 10. So let me give you 10 through 7, and then we'll go tit for tat. Sorry, right. 10 through 3. 10 through 4. Yeah. I'm thinking, my bottom 7. 10 through 7. No.
Okay.
Through 3. No, not 3. That'll be 4. Fucking hell. Right. Let me give you 10 through 4, and then we'll go tit for tat.
Okay.
So number 10, You Only Live Twice. Connery's 5th.
Okay.
As I said before, I've got all 5 of Connery's first 5 in my top 10.
Interesting. How does that compare to other top 10s that you see generally across there? Have you seen where you compare?
Yeah. So the thing with, and I've listened to, as you know, because I'm a massive Bond fanboy.
Oh, yeah.
I've listened to other James Bond fucking hell.
James Bond podcasts.
Do you ever play James Pond on the Sega Mega Drive?
I did.
It was a good game, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've consumed some podcasts and read some forums and all the rest of it. The James Bond fandom is largely pretty positive. So you get a lot of variation between what people grew up with, and so some people will be putting Moonraker right at the bottom of their pile. It's pretty low down in my list as well. Other people are citing that as their best Bond film. So whilst I go, yeah, I don't like the camp ones, other people go, yeah, I love them. So you get a real variation of where films fall. So when you say, well, how does that fall? It varies. It just depends. Okay. Now, there is some stuff that tends to rise to the top, which I'm sure is going to be present in our list as well. But for the rest of it, it's very much horses for courses. So number 10, You Only Live Twice. Number 9, we've got a Brosnan effort. We've got Tomorrow Never Dies.
Okay.
Very good film. Lots.
Terry Hatcher Bond girl?
Yes.
Peak Lois and Clark?
Oh, yes. She was pregnant in this as well.
If she wasn't before, she was after.
Quite like pregnant women. Anyway.
Oh, good Lord.
But I think they like the shooter from like waist up and all the rest of it. And... anyway, it's out there now, isn't it? Number 8, Quantum of Solace.
Oh, okay.
Number 7, Live and Let Die.
Yep.
I'm really surprised you didn't rewatch that one because it wasn't Roger's top rated.
No, why? What was?
The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah.
Which is...
I can go back and watch it now.
Yeah, it's Live and Let Die.
I'm not under time pressure.
Yeah, Live and Let Die is really good. I mean, The Spy Who Loved Me is pretty good.
A bit more of an interesting premise, isn't it? The Spy Who Loved Me. I quite like that.
I don't know. Live and Let Die's got a bit of sort of socio-political tensions, like Black America and that sort of thing. And
you've mentioned it a few times today, so
it's a really good film. Live and Let Die. It really is.
Good theme song as well.
Absolutely. Do you know what though? How funny is it that I think that Live and Let Die, an amazing song, is nowhere near as good a Bond theme tune as Quantum of Solace should have been, whatever they fucking called it.
Another Way to Die?
Another Way to Die. Because that should have been a better Bond theme.
Yeah.
Because it hit the notes a bit better and all the rest of it. As it is, they fucking bollocksed it up. Anyway. Yeah, okay, so number 7, Live and Let Die. Number 6, From Russia with Love.
Ooh. Stabby Shoe.
Stabby Shoe, stacked full of gadgets, that one. And of course, that awesome train fight that you pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. Oh, I think this is where we get controversial.
Okay.
Controversial number 5, Goldfinger.
Oh, that is low. That is low.
And number 4, Thunderball.
Oh,
a lot of people would have that reversed, but I really like Thunderball. Okay, what's your number 3, Si?
Number 3, Goldeneye.
My number 3, Goldeneye.
Hey. Number 2 was Goldfinger for me.
Yes. So we're exactly the same except for this because I'm Dr. No.
Oh. See, Dr. No hasn't left a impression on me.
Oh, I love it. No,
that's the first one, right?
It's the first one. I'm always a bit of a sucker for an origin story, but I love it. It's Connery. It is absolute finest, I think, in that film.
And number 1, I think we might be the same then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, it blew me away on first watch. Repeat viewings. It's still really good. It doesn't get up to the 5-star rating. But it gets pretty close. But it's by far the most sort of memorable Bond film for me.
It's kind of got everything.
Does very interesting things.
Yeah,
it does a little bit of everything.
It's kind of got everything because it's hitting enough. I know it doesn't hit them all, but it's hitting enough of the Bond iconography. It's capturing enough of the character of Bond, and like you say, it is doing some new stuff or taking stuff a bit further, and it's really great, really great.
And they made poker exciting without a glass table that you could see the cards.
Yes.
Okay, got anything else for us?
Nope.
Alrighty, so let's see how this goes with 6 beers. So if we move the needle for you, or even if we didn't, please do rate us, follow, subscribe wherever you are listening, and leave us a 5-star review. It really does kidnap the loved one of the algorithm and gets out there to a larger, more vengeful audience. Our Twitter and Instagram is MTN MoviePod. You can also find our page on Facebook. Details can be found in the show description. And our YouTube channel is at Move the Needle. And also getting our TikTok on at movie.the.needle. So from me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm off to drink a Vesper. That's 3 measures of Gordon's gin, 1 of vodka, half a measure of Quina Lele, which is not vermouth, and shaken well until it's ice cold and served with a large, thick slice of lemon peel. 6 of them. And then most likely die. Goodbye.